What I was talking about is the time I got a little bit of a half stiffy when I was getting a massage from a dude at the mall. Oh, how good. Welcome in, not for radio, sniper elites and non-sniper elites. How the bloody flippin' flop are you?
Great to have you with us. Big Wesley Lee in for Dunc on this ep as Dunc is managing the fruit of his loins.
The semen demons.
Yeah. His miso soup is down south in Queenstown having a girls' weekend, so she'll be ripping right in.
Yeah.
And as you listen to this, she'll probably be 3 sheets to the wind, I would say, and deservedly so. We were just going to do a little bit of a top and tail and fire off a previously unreleased ep, but it ended up sort of running a little bit longer. A war story from Big West City, which was a cracker. I talk about the awkwardness of getting my nuts handled by an international 9 out of 10, and then one of the all-time great war stories about a bloke, an Australian young buck who got carted off to jail after snipering somebody out of a window on a work site.
That's right. Also, what's included and the bonus perks you can get in a neck, shoulder, back massage from one of the old shopping mall masseuses, whatever, who cares? And Epsom salts. Are they a good thing? Are they a bad thing? I, for one, have put them on the list of things that I need to avoid for the rest of my life.
Enjoy.
No responsibility for injuries caused while listening to this podcast.
To which there have been many.
Lots.
Yeah. And as we said in the intro, Big Wesley Lee is in for Dunc. So your first war story up. Biggest of herbs.
Oh, this is a great one. This is from Tony McCaffrey from Belfast under the category injury. About 20 years ago, on a family holiday to Spain, I decided to take my son fishing. We get down to the rocks and I get my son all set up to go. I say to him, hey, mate, be careful while casting in case, you might actually get caught on something. Just always be aware of your surroundings.
How often have you done that?
I cast back into my brother's thumb. And the flung back up, and it went through the fleshy part of his thumb and out his nail. Yeah, that was a 7-hour trip to A&E.
We were at Salisbury Wharf, famous in Mount Maunganui, to fish from, but that's where I learned to fish with my grandfather. Mm-hmm. That's where our kids were learning to fish as well. And while we were there, some kid basically ripped a full string of sabikis into his old boy. So sabikis are these tiny little bait fish hooks, which you don't even put any bait on. But he fucking swung it around on a sinker in his tiny little rod. And it basically, there's like 7 of them on it, 6 or 7 of them on this, on a string of, basically like, it's like a kid's leader. Or like a kid's ledger rig. And so he swung it around, it just goes, and just stuck into the old boy. And so one by one, he was pulling them out, doing the old nylon around method where you push the eye of the hook against your leg and then yank it out.
Oh, no.
Didn't look fun.
No.
Famously, another guy got told to take the lures off. They did a bit of a spot of trolling on a big game fishing boat, his mate's boat, and they were like 2 days out steaming out to sea. Trolled on the way out there, pulled them all in so the boys could start having a few tubes. He'd indulged a little earlier than anticipated. And so he managed to get the one of the hooks through his bicep, but through the top, sort of like, I'm talking 2 centimetres, maybe an inch and a bit into his bicep.
Still.
And so you couldn't pull it out, so they had to push it through. And they're like, we'll just leave it in there. And he's like, nah, it's got to come out. It's got to come out. And they're like, we can't like file the barb off and we can't cut this thing. We don't have anything that's strong enough to cut it. So they're like, the only way to do it is just to get you steaming this bottle of whiskey, and then we'll just slice with a fillet knife straight down the side of the hook, and then we'll just stitch your bicep back together.
Oh, fuck.
And so anyway, they're like, we'll spin around and we'll start heading back. We're 2 days away. We're going to fucking speed this thing up. So slice into this guy's bicep. He's hammered. Blood goes everywhere because he's thin from drinking piss.
Yeah.
And they bandage it up, goes to bed, wakes up the next morning, aching like a bastard, and walks out and stands on the gaff, puts the gaff through the middle of his foot. And then, just to combo it out, as he's pulling up to the wharf, ambulance is there waiting for him. He has his fingers over the edge of the thing, and it went straight up against one of the pylons when he was looking at the front of the boat instead of the back of the boat, and crushed 3 of his fingers up against the side of the boat.
Oh, wow.
Never fishing again.
No.
Anywho,
never.
Back to fishing in España.
Absolutely. All right. So, fuck that. All right, so Tony goes on to say, I'm sat there getting ready, my rod's all set up, and then my boy shouts out, Dad, I've got something. I look around to see his rod bent and he's tugging away furiously. I run over, grab the rod out of his hand and start reeling it in. And as I'm reeling, I'm watching the line change direction. I follow the line up and over my head, thinking it might be caught in the rocks. As I'm yanking the rod, I can feel my leg begin to twitch. Again, I follow the line all the way up and over my head, and lo and behold, there's the hook stuck smack bang in the middle of my gam. Didn't even get to cast my own line. Fine, I thought, I'll just pull it out. Nope. Fucking hook was barbed. Got back to the hotel and ended up having to call the doctor after many failed attempts to get it out. She froze it and then got it out. So they would do that, the old liquid nitrogen on the old, like a burn, just freeze the area, or a wart, sorry. And then just, I reckon that's what he's on about there.
It can't have been that big a hook. You just snap the bastard off.
Yeah. She then proceeds to jab me with the needles for all sorts of shite. After about 4 needles, I told her, hey, that's enough, no more. Every time she stuck me in the ass, it cost me 50 quid. Ended up costing me 500 quid in total.
That's a punchy fishing trip.
Heavy on the wallet, and I've never taken the wee bastard fishing since that day. Up the wires. Oh, mate.
You could get a
Tony, thank you so much.
You could get a mad charter for that same money. Mad charter.
500 quid, yeah, 100% you could.
You poor bastard. Hey, I said yesterday that I would do an update on basically the latest hospital trip that I had.
Oh, please.
Which was great. So Tuesday night, Kiwi time, I had my right nut, which was starting to really swell up. Like, I'm talking uncomfortable.
Big.
Comparative, it was, at this stage, it was probably, I would say, twice the size of the other one. And I was like, this is becoming concerning. So by the time I got home, I packed up because I thought, this is it. This is finally, all my hospital woes have basically culminated in this event where they figure out that this is what's actually wrong, and they just take the stone out because it'll be rotten as fuck. I think that's what I was envisaging anyway. So I packed enough clothes to stay in there for the better part of a week. I had my big journal that I do all my drawing in and all my fucking note taking and wild ideas in. Computer, laptop, charger, fucking Kindle, you name it, books, everything. I just was moving in.
Oh, yeah.
So turned up to A&E with a backpack, like a backpacker. and managed to get whisked through and put into one of the wards, and they said a doctor will be around to see you. 3 o'clock in the morning, I get woken up by a young female doctor, and she's like, oh, hey, look, sorry, it's taken so long to get to you, but very busy night. A&E at this stage, it was fucking packed when I turned up.
In the city?
In the city,
okay,
yeah,
great.
Auckland Hospital.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she was wall to wall, and they do such a great job of staying so relaxed with everything in front of them. Like, if you're sitting there, this is what I was thinking while I was waiting. Every single person that walks up to that plexiglass in front of the person that's basically the receptionist / triage person is going, what have we got here? But it's only fucked.
Yeah.
Like, nobody turns up healthy and goes, g'day, just popping in to say hi. Like, everyone's like, oh, I'm fucking, my leg's facing the wrong direction. There's a chick there.
And everyone's pain is worse than everyone else's.
Yeah.
You know,
And
yeah.
like, I need to be rushed through and this, that, and the other thing. So yeah, I ended up, because I'd just come out of hospital, they got me straight back into the CDU, which is the critical decision unit, and put me into a bed. So about 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, a lovely young nurse, lovely young doctor, female doctor comes around and is like, hey, sorry, we'll do a quick inspection. Do you mind? I was like, I was asleep at this stage, so I was like, I don't give a shit. Pulled my strides down to my ankles, and so she started basically checking out the nut. Yeah. Which at this stage is swollen. Now it's like 3 times the size, like 3 or 4 times the size. It's fucking encroaching on a mango. Like, it was fucking wild, this thing. And I was pretty significant pain. No matter where I lay, it was fucking sore.
Yeah, I bet.
And so as she's kind of moving things around and checking things out, and then she's checking out the rod just to see if there's anything going on there. And she's asking me if I've, had any different sexual partners recently. I was like, no. And she's like, have you got a partner? I was like, yeah, I got a wife. And then she goes, has she had any? So I was like, fuck, I don't know.
Fucking hope not.
Maybe she has. I'm in a studio. I don't even know what's going on fucking half the day. She might have been getting fucking bogged up by every plumber around the place. I don't know. Anyway, so we went through that whole process. But as she was doing the examination, involuntarily, I just started to get a half mongrel. Like, blood started flowing in. And I was like, shit, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what's going on. And at that point, she explained to me, and like as I'm getting a fucking bar up, your average male, particularly of my age, 42 years old, gets between something like 8 and 14 erections a night.
The sleep stiffy. Yeah.
Yeah, sleep stiff. So it's basically your body's way of using it so you don't lose it.
Yep.
And I was like, fucking, I kind of semi knew about that, but not to that length. And she's like, it's not a problem. Like I'm a doctor, I don't give a shit. I've seen a million of these before anyway. So then she's like, we'll get you in for an ultrasound first thing in the morning. I was like, okay, cool. So then I kind of go back to sleep, and I'm thinking when I wake up in the morning, fuck. That's the first time in, I don't know, the best part of 2 decades that someone has to touch my nuts, and that's the reaction. As soon as flesh touches flesh, fucking shit gets primal. We're 40,000 years back in time.
Yeah.
This is caveman. We're in a cave. Someone's touched my dick. It's time to procreate. Let's go. Doesn't matter who you are. Partner, not partner, fucking doesn't matter. And so I was starting to get really concerned that if I went in for this ultrasound, because the ultrasound's longer than the examination, that was going to be the case again. And I was like, fuck. So then in my head...
So before we do that, I'm sure you're going to get to this, but ultrasound, full gel, full machine on the...
Full hot gel.
On
it's exactly the same one that is used for a pregnancy.
Cool.
Same team, sonographers.
Great.
And so I was starting to get in my head, which is where, the monkeys start to throw things around a bit. And I'm like, fuck, I hope, what's best case scenario here? Best case scenario is I get an old duck. And I'm like, fuck, well then, what if I get a bar up with an old duck? Well, maybe she'll be flattered by the fact that that's the way my body reacted to her. And, I've still got it at fucking 76 while I'm scanning these fucking young fellas.
Oh, yeah. Never lost it.
Yeah, and then I was like, nah, fuck it. Here's hoping it's a dude. And, like a young buck, same age as me. We can joke around about it, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, but what if I fucking get a bar up with the fucking lad? And so that would be that'd be even tougher to explain and even more embarrassing. And so now I'm starting to go, fuck, where is the silver lining? Where is the positive angle on this thing? And so we got rolled down by the orderly into sonography, and lo and behold, out of the fucking sonography room comes what can only be described as an international 9 or a domestic fucking 15 out of 10. Like one of the best looking humans I've ever seen in a hospital.
And why did you decide to get into sonography of all things you could have done?
Yeah, I was like, fuck. And obviously, I'm a fucking happily married man. That's not even a thought that goes into it. But there's still a part of every man that doesn't want to be, particularly when you're playing all cards at once, you don't want to be... It's just a fucking awkward situation.
It is
being
an
with
awkward
a fucking
situation.
very good-looking person.
It is.
So Maggie was her name. She was awesome and gorgeous, like I said. I would say mid to late 20s, and fucking just stunning. Like,
it's a knockout.
I was like, fuck, what are the chances?
But also, at the same time, pants down, have a go at that.
Well, no, and also, now I'm starting to fucking panic that if a person that I wasn't even remotely thinking was, like, she's a good-looking girl, the doctor that was the night before, but she didn't hold a fucking candle to Maggie. Oh, Maggie. And so I joked about this with my wife before going in there. And so I told her the whole scenario. And she was like, I hope you don't do your uncontrollable nervous laughter. So whenever my wife, I've spoken about this on the podcast before, whenever Anna, like, cups my nuts in a non-sexual way, when she just holds them, it's just this reaction that I have, and I do a laugh like, and I can't stop it because my body is having this real nervous reaction to it. And so I was like, okay, Maggie, this is... I just need
2 things that's got to happen.
There's a few things I need to go through with you last night. Told her about the proceedings from the evening before with the doctor, which she found amusing, chuckled along, and I was like, I'm really concerned that may be the case, and I don't want to look like a fucking pest.
Yeah.
Because I look like a pest anyway. I don't want to be acting like a pest. So I'm just saying that. And also, I get this uncontrollable laughter when somebody is
in that area,
and we're just touching my nuts, basically. So I don't know what it is anyway, and I'm sure you're a professional. I'm not a professional, so I just wanted to level that with you before we started. So yeah, great banter. Anyway, just fucking out comes the fucking warm gel, and as soon as I hear that onto the thing, I just start fucking uncontrollably laughing, and so then I can't hold it together. And so then she starts laughing because I'm laughing. I'm like, I'm so sorry. My pants are around my ankles. There's a towel over my waist. And she, when we pull it together, bit terrible choice of words. When I get myself together and calm myself down, at this stage, tears are streaming down the side of my face. Like I've been fucking in hysterics for like 5 minutes. I was, I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, I find this hilarious as well. And so I was like, okay, cool. Let's rip into it, and I'll see if I can. And as soon as that warm gel touched my nuts, I fucking lost it again. Like, and unbeknownst to me, when you laugh, your nuts, for whatever part of connection to your body, they just fucking bounce in your sack. And so at that point, she can't get a good scan on it. So I'm laughing at the
it's
fact.
a hindrance.
So I'm laughing at the fact that there's a warm thing with a super hot chick touching my nuts, panicking that I'm going to get an erection, and at the same time nervous laughter because someone's touching my nuts. I'm fucking jammed, and I know the longer I stay there, the chances of me getting a fucking full bar up is increasing by the second.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've got a hot chick with warm gel playing with my nuts. Well, not playing with my nuts. She's doing a job.
Yeah, she's a medical professional, but
Exactly.
yeah, playing with your nuts.
But she's touching my nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm in the weirdest, like, twilight zone of shit which is going on. She had great chat. I was trying to just throw random questions at her to just get around it. We talked about the now on reflection, probably not great chat. She was in radiology beforehand, and famously about 3 years ago, a guy came in with an eel up his ass, and I was like, "Did you X-ray the guy with the eel up his ass?" And she's like, "I couldn't tell you if I did, but I didn't." And I was like, "Fuck, you're gonna go straight." I reckon this is a leaky fucking part of the building, and you're gonna be able to say, because she goes, nice to put a face to the voice, because she listens to the show.
Oh god.
And so I'm like, this just fucking.
She's told everyone.
I know.
100%. There's a great Ricky Gervais bit about it when he's like, mate, if I was a fucking doctor, I would tell everyone everything.
Exactly.
I'd get home and be like, bro, you are never going to believe what I found up an ass today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm just joking away about it. At this point, I don't give a fuck. I'm in agony. I need this thing sorted out anyway. But she lifts up the tail and goes, holy shit. I was like, I know. Fucking hell. So anyway, we get to the whole process. We talked about the implications of possibly getting one taken out, and at this stage I spoke to Dunc about it, and if we were going to go for a replacement, it was going to be something that we just crowdsourced on the radio show.
Oh yeah, I got 5
and
on
we're
it.
going to go, fucking, what are we going, A, B, C, D, E, whatever. And she's like, that sounds pretty classic. I was like, would you like to be part of the selection panel? And she's like, it would be an honour and privilege. And then at the end of it, wrapping things up, and it's like, I don't know if to be offended or actually pleased that there wasn't any movement in there because of what happened last night in the preface of it before. I was like, I'm fucking so glad that it didn't. Just because it was the conversation and the way that the doctor had the conversation and was so matter of fact about it as she pulled the blanket back up over, like fucking the fella getting lit up. I was like, I just don't want to go through that again. And I knew that I was going to have that same conversation with the next doctor that came through to check my nuts out after being scanned. But long story short, once again, my respect for the medical practitioners, the doctors, the sonographers, the orderlies, everyone, nurses, that operate in those places, in those conditions, with people like myself. I just couldn't think, enough. They're amazing. She made what would have to be the most fucking awkward situation that I've ever been in with a stranger so funny and actually memorable, and to a certain degree, not sexually enjoyable, but in terms of situationally being enjoyable.
Mate, so this is nothing to, my life is full of medical mishaps. I'm a walking emergency room local, I was in the emergency room last night from midnight until 3:30 in the morning.
What?
So
Did you get another eel up your ass?
No. No, I got it removed. So
they go with the fun thing about it. So this is before you go any further. So I was talking to her about it, and she was like, she didn't know to see the X-rays or whatever, but obviously knew the story. And in the article, basically, the person said that they were skinny dipping and an eel swam into their ass.
Likely, yeah.
But
how else would they get there?
Eels go into the holes in which they live in tail first, so they back in.
So they.
Yeah, and so they can come out that way. But this thing had gone up this person's ass head first, so there was only one way this fucking thing happened.
Yeah.
It was fucking shoved up there. Anyway, sorry.
So that's all right. So I
Back
went
to
in.
your eel in your ass.
Yeah, so Harry, I call him. So we That's amore. So I woke up yesterday morning at 4 o'clock, so Thursday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning after thinking that I'd been bitten by fleas in my bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, Nikita, are you itchy? And she's like, no. And I was like, fuck up, there's fleas in here. I've got a dog, got a cat. So I got up, couldn't get back to sleep, and then my legs were kind of itchy for the rest of the day yesterday. And then after the show last night, I got home and Nikita was like, you should go and have a bath. Like, go and have a nice bath. I've got some nice Epsom salts. Went and bought some Epsom salts today. You'll love it because I love a bath. I love it. I love a quick 3.5. Well, I'm a big boy. 7-minute shower. So I don't know who I was trying to fool there. Save the water. Don't have to wash my hair though. So jumped in the bath. It said on the back of this thing, put a generous amount of Epsom salts into the bath with water. So it came with
made it the fucking Dead Sea and just floated on top of it.
So it came with a little scoop, like you get in a laundry powder thing. So I put 3 of those in and a lot of water, like a big bath, big boy, a lot of water.
Yeah.
A lot of displacement. So jumped out of the bath. I was like, oh my God, I was saying, Nikita, that was amazing. Like, fuck, my skin feels so it's like smooth and like still this is the shit. 45 minutes later, I was like, all right, time for bed. So 9:30, jumped into bed, woke up at midnight, my legs on fire.
Wow.
Like, came out into the lounge to turn a light on because I didn't want to wake anyone up to have a look to see exactly what the fuck was going on. And my leg, both my legs from the knees down was just rashy, welty, super hot to the touch. I'd been scratching in my sleep. That's what woke me up. Like, I was scratching. It was the same kind of feeling that I felt the night before. I thought I'd been bitten by a flea or whatever. And I was like, holy fuck. So I went and woke Nikita up and I was like, have a go at these gams. And so I showed her my legs and she's like, oh, wow. She's like, you should go to the hospital. And I was like, I'm not going to the fucking hospital. And then I was like, actually, I'm doing the show with Jay tomorrow. Tegan's not that well. If she's not there, like, and I've just had a lot of time off. And I was like, oh, I'm not fucking. So I was like, yeah, all right, I'll go to emergency. Went to emergency and I was there from midnight, 12:30 till 3:30 in the morning. There was a relatively empty waiting room. There were 2 people before me to see the triage nurse. $165 it was to go and get seen. I got seen. They gave me some steroid cream and a couple of antihistamines that I didn't have at home. And that was well worth it. Like, I was at home, back in bed asleep, woke up at 10. So I've had a good 6, 7, 8 hours sleep, just broken up with a 3-hour trip to those fucking bright fluorescent lights.
It's crazy.
The aircon in the waiting room makes me feel all fucking coffee and shit. But that was neither here nor there. What I was talking about is the time I got a little bit of a half stiffy when I was getting a massage from a dude at the mall. So I had a hang on. Okay.
Hang the fuck on. How did we get
unpack.
there? See, this is completely unrelated to what happened to me.
Well, no, I was. Do you know what? You got to get a ticket to this train of thought. I mean, you talk about living in the grey. You got to live in what I call the impulse zone, where shit just fucking happens. The monkeys in your head are throwing things at each other.
Yeah.
The monkeys in my head aren't even there. So I had a massage voucher. I had a massage voucher that I got given for my birthday, and I was like, oh shit, I need to use this. This is about 5 years ago, pre-COVID, so it was okay.
How the fuck have we never talked about this before?
I'll tell you why, and you'll understand why as soon as it comes out. Poor choice of words there. But so the eel went in head first. All he said was, you wash me in the shower and I'll wash you in the shower.
You fucking grubby Dutch bastards. I love your eels.
So I got given a massage voucher for my birthday, and it was coming up to my birthday again, and it was going to run out, and it's been on the fridge for a year. And I was like, man, I don't like those little, the mall, golden massage, the old 15-minute neck, shoulder, back deals. And I was like,
not
okay.
bad.
It actually wasn't bad, but I like to have, and I don't know that these massage places aren't run by actual professionals, but all I know is that it just hurts.
Yeah.
And I know that a good deep tissue massage should hurt.
Yeah.
Good deep tissue massage shouldn't be able to be completed in 15 minutes. I don't think.
No, probably not.
I went in there and I got the neck, shoulder, back, and so that was good. It was great. And then I was lying on face first with my head in the hole in the bed. And he was rubbing down it had like a pillowcase or a sheet over the top when he was rubbing me. And then I was in a pair of sweatpants, and so he'd kind of was rubbing down my back and down just the top of my buttocks for the sciatic nerve, obviously. And then all of a sudden, his hands made their way from the top of my gluteus maximi and then down into kind of the the middle of my upper thigh, and just gave the old scoochy scooch as if I needed to open up so that he could get that sciatic nerve a bit better.
Your fucking sciatic nerve is not near your balls.
Well, what do I know about this, Jay? I've gone to a
Clearly fucking
I've gone
nothing.
to a professional in the Westfield shopping mall in Henderson, and I thought I was getting what I thought I was getting was a decent massage.
I could imagine. So there's a technique where they put their elbow basically into your hip joint, bring your leg up at like a 90-degree angle and push it across in the opposite direction, and that works into it from there.
Oh, okay,
But it's not on the inside.
Well, maybe this was just a blatant sexual assault then.
I was going to say that is probably more
Because it was a little bit of a rub down the back of my upper thigh, and then a little bit of a tiny tickle on the inside, and I was like, oh, this is weird. And then I start pitching, and I was like, oh wow, no, that's really weird, like this. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's sweet, mate, that's good. Fucking give it the old shake. Yep, no, don't need this one doing. That one's sweet. And then walked out and left. And then I was telling Nikita about it, and she's like, that's not how massages usually go. And I was like, what?
You didn't have to pay for it though.
Oh, I did. No, I didn't because it was a voucher. So
Yeah.
someone else
Well,
paid
you didn't
for
have
it.
to. Normally, you'd have to wave like $20 behind you to get that.
But look, it a bowl of eel soup. Yeah. But it was as it was happening, as the inside of my legs, an incredibly erogenous zone for anyone, the inner thigh, was being lightly tickled. I was thinking, this is not like this is really weird. Like, how is this a fucking part of a neck, shoulder, back? And then I started to kind of like the turtle from the Never-Ending Story movie that comes out the mountain, Mauler the Ancient One. And I was like, oh, wait, no, that's not oily. This is fucked. And then just like the eel, back up and then gone. And I've never been back to a fucking mall massage parlor again.
If you're lying on your front, which is the worst case scenario,
Oh, yeah.
is that as soon as there gets to be some form of some stimulation of the body, then the pressure almost just backfills anyway, and you can't get away from it. You cannot get away from it. But that's great though. You got a rec from a man massaging the inner thighs of your leg.
Yes, I did. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
We have to go.
Moving rapidly along. Do you know what? But honestly, I'm at the point in my life now.
Well, you'll take anything.
Beggars choosers. I mean, no. Do you know? And I tell the story often, but not to international listeners on a podcast that does very well, or to people on a nationwide radio station. But I'm at the point in my life now where I just don't care. Yeah. Everything that's happened has happened. And I've had a vasectomy. I've had a man down there lasering his way into my nuts, severing my vas deferens, whatever the hell they do down there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. The weirdest thing about anything like that is the fact that it's somebody else doing it, someone that you're not familiar with. And you mean nothing to these people other than a professional. You are there. They are medical professionals. If you have had something go wrong with you downstairs and you're too nervous to go and get seen by a medical professional for whatever reason, just go and do it.
Totally.
They don't care. They're not going to go home and be like, "Oi, I had old Harold Silverman's dick in my hand today, and fuck, it's gotten smaller since it was last seen." They don't know. They don't care.
Yeah. And I have to full tip of the hat. They were absolutely class in their approach and delivery, and because they're fucking professionals.
And also, I guarantee
you're the one that's unprofessional thinking that.
I guarantee you that will not be the first set of balls that woman has had in her hands that day.
And I said, how many nuts are you doing? And she goes, quite a few actually. Yeah. And I was like, fucking out. And she's like, normally they're older fellas. And I was like, yeah, sick. That's great stuff. And I was talking to I wouldn't say his name. Fuck it, Kitch, because that's his fucking name. He got his nut pasted inside the sack when he was playing bull rush as a teenager. And it swelled up to like the size of an avocado and he had to go and get it drained.
That sucks. Yeah. But I mean, the whole professional, again, there's another great Ricky Gervais bit about doctors and how they have to kind of be across everything, and they kind of have to, and this is taking it to a little bit more of a morbid place, but they have to be okay with death. Like I've got friends that work in rest homes, and I went and saw her the other night. She's like, yeah, we've had 8 deaths this week.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. And she's like, I don't go to their funerals, but I'm there for the living. But Ricky Gervais was talking about, he's like, yeah, I've got a mate who's a doctor, and he sent in one of these interns to go and change Mr. Smith's drip. And he's like, hey, mate, can you go in and change Mr. Smith's drip? And he's like, yep, of course I can. And they went in and changed it, and then he came back, and he's like, bro, what have you done? And he's like, what? And he's like, what the fuck have you just done? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, Mr. Smith, he's dead. And he's like, I just went in to change his drip. And they laughed. No, it's all right, mate. He was dead when we sent you in.
Yeah.
But because they have to be okay with that. But what they wouldn't do is joke about that in front of the family.
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry about your husband and father passing away. Oh, fuck, we're having a laugh earlier. We sent Lee in to go and change his drip. He's already dead. He didn't even fucking notice. But yeah, so that's it. All right, well, look.
Got time for a war story.
Do we have time for a war story, Teagues? Yeah, go on, let's do it.
Snipers, reload. Another war story incoming. Eyes on target, scopes dialed in. Let's see who hits the mark.
Okay, this is it. This is from 246.9. A Kiwi but living in London, and this is under the category of a workplace incident. Fella, sorry, it's a bit of a novel, but I hope you enjoy. This is a story, only the names have been changed to protect the fucking stupid. So back in the late 90s, when health and safety was your boss saying, you're still drunk, do you remember your name? The only person on the building site wearing high-vis bright yellow vests were the day-release padded room guys from Oakley Mental Hospital on work experience. It was a Monday morning. We'd just driven back to Auckland from a legendary weekend in Wellington called Moo Moo Land, best party on the planet. We got stuck for a few hours in a rest stop on the desert road, but that's a whole different story altogether. Parked the car up in an underground car park on K Road, went upstairs to crack on with the day's work, fitting out some new shops in a telecom building. Fuck knows what the boss was taking when he hired this plank, stupid 18-year-old Aussie fella. We'll call him Steve, however, because that's his fucking name. When I say stupid, child-proof lids would fuck this guy. We were putting up some plasterboards on the street side of the building. No one had enough time or crowns to explain to ordinary Steve what needed to be done, so he put half a brain cell to use and cracked on. A couple of hours in, we started to hear a RAMSET gun being fired. The first thought that went through my head was, what the fuck is LCD doing now? We had loads of names for Steve. LCD, a.k.a. lowest common denominator, ordinary Steve, wank stain, ashtray on a motorbike, and many more. So going to investigate, padded room, a.k.a. Steve, was using a RAMSET gun to put up plasterboards. Now, fellas, this is where the story goes fucking wrong with this kid. He tried to RAMSET plasterboard over the yet-to-be-installed window. In case you don't know, a RAMSET gun uses 22 blank rounds to fire a nail into solid concrete. The poor unlucky fuck across the road who was delivering a package got dropped like a Rolf Harris TV special. Like a window-licking sniper, he had delivered a shot through the plasterboard and hit the poor fuck in the shoulder. After the chaos, which, if I'm honest, after 3 days of almost no sleep, was fucking funny to sit back in our chairs and watch, St. John's arrived, took old matey to the repair shop, a.k.a. the hospital, and as expected, the coppers turned up. After a quick chat with the lads, all fingers were pointing towards LCD. For being the most stupid fuck on the planet, I think the only reason he's still alive is because the local stray cat took pity on him as a child and breastfed him. Attempted murder, GBH, no license to operate a RAMSET gun causing injury, and I'm sure the coppers thought of a few more things to charge him with on his way to his new apartment with no fucking windows. Ironic, eh? He was given some nice new bracelets and carted off, never to be seen again. Fuck. We never found out what happened to him. I'm sure he made friends fast in his new digs. And as we know, every day is a school day. I took some pearls of wisdom that day. Always take Monday off after a long weekend and hire an 18-year-old kangaroo fucker. They're pretty good for human to break up a busy day. So good. Thank you very much. Crack on, lads and ladettes.
Like a Rolf Harris TV special.
There you have it.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you very much. This wasn't meant to run for as long as it has, but it has, and I'm glad. Cheers, Big Wesley Lee, filling in for Dunc today.
My absolute pleasure.
He is wrangling his multiple sex trophies And I've got a war story winner.
Yep.
I think it would have to be.
Ceasefire, snipers. Today's top marksman has been selected. The war story of the day goes to...
I reckon 246.9.
Yeah, lowest common denominator.
Yeah, that's
LCD.
great work.
Absolutely, well done.
Fantastic
Epic
stuff.
stuff.
And to those of you that were wanting a little bit more, not for radio, if you haven't already got around it, the Sniper Elite episodes opens up another 250-odd eps. The re-release of the Not For Radio Sunnies, for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere. Actually, Southern Hemisphere, it's starting to get sunny again.
Yeah.
And great bits of kit. I'm not too sure how many pairs left, but they're good. Follow the links in the pod notes to where you can sign up to be Sniper Elite, and also where you can grab those sunnies as well. Looking forward to catching up with the crew that we're flying out for the Rock 2000 as well, which, by the way, incidentally starts on Monday.
Yeah.
So if you're looking forward to hearing the biggest 2,000 rock songs counted down, you can stream it on Rover, which some of you may be listening to this on anyway. Whatever you're up to this weekend, go long, go well, and up the fucking Waz who play tonight. Play tonight. Sorry, I'll read this message here from one of the boys. So it's old boys, the old boys round. So all of the past Warriors. I think there's just under 300 maybe, 280 odd. So the boys don't often get together, and when they do, they have a fucking hell of a time. So I caught up with Big Russ Packer today. We catch up whenever he's up. Russell Packer, one of my favourite humans, one of my favourite players, one of the hardest men. He's 35. Like, it's crazy to think. He started playing, we were talking this morning at breakfast, he signed for the Warriors when he started. He debuted when he was 18 years old. 18 years old.
That's crazy.
And I looked at my kids who were sitting next to him, and they weigh fucking 22 kilos or something, and that's 7 years away from where they are now. I was like, you need to put on 80 more kilos in 7 years to be at where he was at that age.
In that position, yeah, sure.
Yeah, one of the other lads sent me this classic photo at 2:30 this morning. He's like, "Where are you, fuckwit? I'm on this. I'm on the Cialis's. Eshe, love you, C-bomb. Big ball, cheers, mate."
Eshe.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, wicked.
So yeah, the Warriors are playing tonight. It's playing your team.
Yeah, well, I'm happy with whatever here.
Buck each way.
So, well, yeah, I mean, I'll go the Waz because it's home soil, absolutely. But yeah, I do have an incredible soft spot for the Parramatta Eels, which we can dive into at another podcast should my loyalty be questioned at some point. But what I will say is what I believe, and that is that if you live in New Zealand, if New Zealand is your home, and you do not support the Warriors as your rugby league team, that's fucked.
Yeah,
that is absolutely fucked. So before the Waz joined the competition, I really had a soft spot for the Eels. My old man used to have a company car. He'd get free petrol at Caltex when it was the Winfield Cup. You spend $40 or more, you'd get an NRL mascot. And so I got Eric the Eel. My name backwards is Eel. So that's where I liked the Eels from. Then the Waz came in, all about the Waz. Yeah. Then the Eels had that great run for the finals in 2009. Jared Hayne, Luke Burt, Fufu Moi, the Keating brothers, Eric Groth Jr., like just a mega fucking team. Nathan Kalis, Nathan Hindmarsh, like big boppers. Felipe Mateo, just phenomenal team. And then, go the Eels again. And then the Waz had that great grand final run 2011. Yeah. Boom. Like me. It's the sport that keeps on giving, and I will watch it till the day I die.
Big Felipe came over for that too. He was in the Waz for that. He's one of the great. He's another one of the greats too.
He was.
Fui Moi. If you want to watch a highlight reel of fucking people getting smashed to bits, Big Fui, who used to destroy people.
The steam train, but up the fucking Waz, baby, all day. Let's go. All right, enjoy whatever you're getting up to. Have a safe weekend, and we will be back with another Not For Radio regularly scheduled programming. Jay and Dunc back for you Monday. Go well, go long.